What up, party people? Welcome to yet another edition of DJ to DJ. I'm your man, DJ Fernando G, and it is my honor to have on board today producer, remixer, entrepreneur. Let's welcome DJ Juanito. What up, brother? How are you, man?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. You definitely got an amazing story that I know a lot of people are going to appreciate, man. So let's get...
It's a long one. Definitely.
Yep. Oh yeah. Let's get straight into it, man. Let's go back to your origins. How was it that you discovered DJing, and how did you get started with it?
I guess the first inkling of spinning music was in my garage in Oakland, California. My brother Weddle was doing some spinning, and another friend, Tony Alarcon, they were in the garage spinning, and I'm like, "What you guys doing?" And I go, and that was the first time I really, got a glimpse of spinning. I was 14, maybe something like that. 14.
Chamaco, man.
Yeah, and so in Oakland, California, in my garage, is where I kind of got introduced to it. Then it started getting serious. I got into it. I liked it. Next thing you know, I'm going to this place very popular in San Francisco called Ron's Records.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of DJs would go there, and pretty much I'd show up and say, "Hey, Ron, what's new, man? What you got? Show me all the popular stuff." So they'd play, all the popular stuff. And then I'd come home with a stack of records, and that's how I started building up my little stack. So, and it just went on from there. I just, I'm not going to lie. I was a horse racer at first, man. Just like with everything, practice makes perfect, bro.
Exactly.
I remember I was at a friend's house, Serafin Mendoza and Johnny Rocker, and this was on the east side of Oakland. I lived on the east side too, but this was deeper east. On 40th Avenue in Oakland, and then we'd go there, and then have little spinning sessions. So I remember them guys laughing at me. I was such a horse racer. They'd like, "Dude, come on." They let me go on there, but I just, I was learning, bro. What can I do? So all I can say about that is practice makes perfect, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
now
I obsessed over it for a while, and then I just, started getting better.
I mean, and it's like that at the beginning, when you get started, man, you just want to stay on the decks, and you don't want to, get off them. I mean, every second that you have, you want to just be spinning. So, but
I should say this too. I was motivated and inspired by the local radio DJs to really want to, continue that and move forward. The guy I looked up to is Cameron. His name was Cameron Paul. Here in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
He was holding down, dude. He was the man. He did his mega mixes. I wanted to be Cameron, man. Mm-hmm. I wanted to mix like Cameron, we could go deeper into this. Actually goes into why I decided to make music from the spinning. But we'll just go ahead. We'll just go at your pace and see where this leads us. I could go into it, but
yeah, I feel you. I mean, your story is pretty powerful and very inspiring, because you actually were kind of veering down a wrong path for a little while, but managed to pull yourself out of that and create your little empire, man. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I like saying, as of late, music has saved my life. Music did save my life. I grew up in Oakland. In Oakland, for a Latino kid, Mexican American kid, growing up without a dad in Oakland,
that's tough.
That's trouble, bro. Yeah. That's trouble. I grew up in the streets. I grew up with my friends. I went to Fremont High, and then I went to Oakland High. So I kind of bounced back and forth between you and me, depending on where all the fine chicks were. I go here, I go there. I mean, I just bounced back and forth, man, from Oakland High to Fremont High. Um, so, and I went to school, but it's not like I went to learning at school wasn't my motivation, bro. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, um, what to say about that. I mean, I just it didn't do nothing for me. I went to socialize, man. I went to meet people. I went to hang out. But the funny thing is that I passed a lot of classes without really learning. I can't explain it. And I ended up dropping out in 11th grade. Yet I got my GED the following year.
Good for
So, I mean, it was very rocky, dude. You know what I mean? When it came to that time, and then I ran with the bad crowd. I believe I got in trouble and I went to jail about last time I counted, it was about 12 times.
Wow.
I ended up in Oakland jail.
Wow.
And I went from my biggest thing, man, was GTA. I was a GTA type of guy, and we do it for fun. We do it for parts. We do it for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was just a thing to do. I graduated from the GTA and all that stuff to selling dope. So I sold dope in Oakland. We my first encounter with that is me and a buddy just one day decided, hey man, let's sell coke, bro. Let's sell some dope. So we got a connection, a Mexicano connection, bro, like our little Mexican cowboy connection we had. So we went to go get our first little stash, and then from there we just started slanging, bro.
Wow.
That was the thing. And when that started, I was doing, let's see, I was doing my parties. I started doing parties in the Bay Area that were really, really, popular. I was able to buy my gear. I was able to buy everything I needed to do my parties, and I did my parties. And then about halfway through my whole party time, and the parties I was doing in Oakland, I decided I wanted to start making records. And why did I start making records? Because I'd hear these mixes that Cameron Paul was doing on the radio, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. So I did a little research. I found out what was needed, and then I bought a mixer. I bought a Tascam 388 quarter-inch tape recorder, right? And then I went to town, dude. I just learned it, and I started doing my little mega mixes, straight from the turntables, and that's where my first mega mixes came from. So at this time, let's see, I'm selling dope, I'm doing mega mixes, and then I started releasing records. This was early 80s. Early 80s. It's about 80, 81 is when I started releasing my first records. And the parties were going good, and then the records were going good, and then the dope thing was going good, and then one day I got raided by Oakland Vice, and they came in. I was in my room. I was in my room with my gear. I was probably I was working on a mix, and I heard this like rumbling. It was like an earthquake. I thought we were having an earthquake. I'm like, what the heck? What's going on? An earthquake. And then I heard banging, boom, boom, boom. And then police came in with masks. They had masks on.
The whole gear and everything.
They said, don't fucking move. You know, they're like, they all came in. It was about maybe 10.
Dang.
I heard gunshots in the house. They
Really?
shot my dog,
Oh
my
my
pit
gosh.
bull. They shot my dog. They
Wow.
shot my pit bull in the neck, the back, and the stomach. And I heard when I heard that, I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? I'm over here with my hands up. What's going on? And next thing you know, two cops come running into my room where I was, because I was in there with some other cops.
Uh-huh.
Two cops came in running into my room, shut the door behind them, and they go, "What the fuck do you feed that dog?" I'm like, what? And then I'm looking outside my window, and then I see the cops scatter out, and then one of them jumped on top of my Cadillac. The other ones ran
Oh
up,
my
and
gosh.
my dog, my pit bull, chased them out the house.
Oh my god. After being
Gunshots
shot?
and everything, bro.
Oh,
After being shot 3 times, my
dang.
dog chased them outside the house after coming in, shooting up the house, you know, all
Wow.
that pedal, chased them motherfuckers back
That's
out the house,
one
bro.
tough damn dog, dude.
And I was looking out the window. I was in handcuffs. They go, I pleaded with them, man, please don't kill my dog. Don't kill my dog, you know, and I go, let me go take care of him, man. Just let me go out there, you know. Let me go put him away in my car. Just let me do that. So just please don't kill my dog. My dog had those cops terrified. It was actually Oakland Oakland Vice.
Wow. Wow.
Uh, my dog chased him right the hell out, bro. And then so what happened is they gave me I go, give me the keys to my car. I'll put them in. So I'm here like this, handcuffed, and I'm walking outside the house, and I go up to my door. I had to open my door like this,
Oh,
you know,
like
with the
all
keys in the
backwards
back
and
and
everything.
stuff, and backwards, and then I opened the door to my Cadillac, and I go, come on, boy. You know, I was telling, get in, and my dog is going like he was having fun,
Right, right. He's having a good
and he
time.
had 3 bullets in him.
Jeez, man.
He was having a grand old time. He had 3 bullets in him. His name was Chapo, my dog. And so he jumped. He was his name's Chapo, bro. I mean,
Right, feel you.
he got into the car, and he curled in on the front seat, on the floor of the passenger seat in the front. So he just curled up, and he's over there panting away,
Oh
right?
man.
And so he was put away, and so I'm standing out there. The whole neighborhood is out there, and they had 2 of my other friends, and another. They already had them in handcuffs in the car,
Wow.
and and you know, and then next thing you know, one of those uh, I guess what do you call those people that take care of the dogs? You know, when they're for the police though.
The canine unit?
Can you see me? It says internet connection on the other. No, not the canine unit. It's like the people that I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
the dog
anyway,
pound.
the guy came to me, and not like a dog pound kind of or whatever,
Uh,
but they actually asked me, okay, we have 2 choices. You let us know what you want. We could either put your dog to sleep, or we could save him. I go, fuck you, save him, motherfucker. You guys shot him, you know, so save my dog. So they took my dog away. They took my dog away, bro, and they put him in this thing, this white, you know, dog paddy wagon,
right,
whatever
right,
you want
right,
to
right.
call it. And then they took him away. My dog survived, bro. My dog
Wow.
survived,
That's one tough
and
mutt.
he came back. You know, he was back to normal after a while. After a few operations, he survived.
Wow, man.
But that's just an example of.
Yeah.
It's just an example of how where I was, bro,
Yeah,
growing
yeah.
up. But because of that raid, I sat in the jail cell, and I did a little soul searching, and I decided in that jail cell, I go, that was probably the last time I really went to jail.
Hmm.
Remember, I told you I went like 12
Right,
times
right.
roughly, and that was the last time I said, all right, this is not for me. This is not for me. I'm not a jail type of guy. I don't want to be a jail. I don't want to be the in and outer. I don't want to be the lifer. This is not me. I went to Catholic school, bro. I went to Catholic school 1st through 8th grade.
Wow.
I was with las monjitas, bro, with the nuns. You know, and you know, my mom, she grew us up, but she raised us, you know, with some old-fashioned Mexican, you know, way, you know, an old-fashioned Mexican way, you know, and tradition, you know, the frijoles and the arroz and all that stuff, bro, and I just in that time, and when I was in that jail cell in downtown Oakland, I just said, "No, man, this ain't for me." So I got out. I was able to get out of that. That's a whole other monster. That's a whole other story. How I was able to not be able to not go to jail for years after that.
Right.
Thanks to a friend of mine who I guess you could say came to the rescue.
That's cool.
And I was able to get out of that situation. After that, I decided I would never ever do anything like that again. I just, what I did is I looked at my gear and I said, I know what my mission is now.
And it was the right choice, man, because the talent that you've shared with us is incredible, man. Your music that you came up with, you know, had us all dancing, man, had us all partying, bro. So that's awesome.
And that was the goal, bro. That was the goal. I mean, when I made that decision to say, okay, this life is not for me. This is what I need to do now. And you know, the funny thing about it, just a little fast forward, when I got to LA and when I started pressing my records in LA and when I started slanging my records from the trunk of my car to all those record stores, it was like selling dope.
So you had a little bit of experience.
Yeah, I had some experience now. And the funny part about it is my profit margin selling the records was 500%. 500%. So technically, I was making more money selling my records than I was selling my dope.
There you go.
It was just a little slower because, you know, I mean, there's manufacturing of the records, there's the labels, there's a production of the music, there's just all that stuff that comes along with producing the record. But, you know, just, yeah, I mean, it was, I had experience, bro.
There you
I had
go.
experience. So that's a whole other monster we'll get down the line when we get there, you know, with the records and the selling and all that stuff.
You, around early 90s, you come up with A Mover la Colita. How did you get the inspiration for putting that together with RD One Man Party and all that track?
Mid 90s. It was more like mid 90s.
Yeah, mid 90s actually.
90. It was 94. Well, you know, on my trips to the record stores, when it came to selling my records, I had a few go-to stores. One of them was Exodus Records, and that was in Rosemead, right?
Yep.
I think that was in Rosemead. Yeah, it was.
Yep, right off the 10 freeway.
So one day I walked in. Huh? Yeah. Or was it 60?
60. Yeah, 60 freeway.
Was it the 60 or the 10?
60 freeway. 60 freeway. Yeah. Sorry, you're correct.
I walked in one day, you know, just like any other day. I had records and, you know, a box of records with me because I'd have probably I'd release about 2 records a month in that time. It was either a Bust a Groove or it was a Groove Nation. That was it. That was all I was doing, man, for a few years. And I walked in with a new record or they did some order of back catalog. And Artie was in the store by himself, Artie Yanes. And he goes, "Hey, Juanito, I need a favor, bro." I go, "What's up, Artie?" He goes, "Hey, man, I got this idea, man, you know, and I wanna do this idea." And he specifically told me, he goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Richard and Tony and those guys, they don't want to help me." That's what he told me, bro, just like that. I go, oh, really? Well, Artie, you just come on over to my studio. Let's see what you got. So that's how that went around. It was, I have always maintained it was Artie's idea. I produced it. I mean, he actually, it wasn't even Artie's idea. It was his brother's idea. His brother gave the idea to him. He gave the idea to me, or he pitched it to me.
Got it.
So he ended up going to my studio. We went over the idea and the samples. I go and when it comes to doing a project, I just listen. I just listen to what's possible or what I can do with it, and then I get all these ideas as I'm listening. And when I heard it, I go, yeah, we could do that, brother. I got you. I can help you out. So I don't know if we started working that same day or we rescheduled him to come in so we could start working. So I just sampled it up. I chopped it up. The whole time I'm working on it, Artie's on the phone. He's talking to chicks.
So
I'm over here
so here's the idea,
away.
and you're plugging away, man.
I'm slaving away. I'm doing the work, and then and I actually told him, I said, Artie, check it out, bro. I got this. Just go about your business. He did drop a couple of ideas to me, and we and not that I took them. It's just he dropped a couple ideas, and then but the record was his idea. The Mover la Colita was his idea. I produced it, and that's how that came about.
That's cool, man. And at what point do you meet Lina Santiago? Did I lose
Lina? Okay, that was in. I'm gonna say probably early '95. I'm gonna say early '95. A friend of mine, Tony Ramirez, he was another friend of mine. He had a record store in El Monte, and a good friend of mine. He's still my good friend to this day. He actually just found me another artist, another project, which I'm working right now, which is getting played on some radio right now.
Nice.
So I'm in the infancy of a possible other hit right now.
Good for you.
But the thing is, check this out, bro. No one knows it's me.
So you're doing it incognito.
A few people know it's me, but the majority. But I released it under a whole other name, whole other, a whole other persona. But I'm doing an experiment right now. Cool. And it looks like the experiment is working. I'm doing like Fatboy Slim did. Fatboy Slim came out did a couple of records under a couple of different names. One of them was remember Magic Carpet Ride? Remember that song?
Yeah.
Okay, that was Fatboy Slim. A lot of people didn't know that. So I decided to try this experiment. I've done it before, but I'm kind of like really trying to keep my name out of it. Anyway, back to Lina. My friend Tony, I turned to Tony one day and I said, hey, Tony, you know what? It's time we do some original stuff. Okay. I've already sampled anything that can be sampled. I'm tired of sampling. I had the Busta Grooves going at that time, and
I love those records, man. Those things used to, that was my go-to, man. That whole library was awesome, man.
Yeah, that's a whole other monster too, bro. That's a whole other story. So I tell Tony, we need an artist. I need an original artist, Tony. This is the first time I decided I really wanted to go with an original artist, at least in LA, because I produced some rappers in the Bay Area before I moved to LA. So the very next day, Tony called me. He goes, hey, bro, I got somebody for you. I go, okay, cool. Bring them on by. Bring them tomorrow, whenever you can. Just bring them by. So we set up a meeting. Lena came with her mother, her father, and I think her sister. I'm not sure, but they came to my studio in Hollywood, and we sat down. We introduced ourselves to each other, and I said, okay, shoot. I didn't I didn't want to get into you know, no small talk or nothing. Just go ahead and show me what you got.
Right, right.
And then so they gave me a cassette, and then I put the cassette on, and she sang on the cassette Angel Baby and Como una Flor by Selena. This was on the cassette. Cassette, bro. Remember cassettes?
Yeah, yeah. It's cassette.
Yeah. Cassette, bro. So I'm listening to the demo, and it was really muddy. It was like a lot of effect in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear her voice. And so I turned it off. I go, okay, this is not gonna work. Sing. Let me hear what you got. He goes, sing right now? Like, yeah, sing, just sing. So she sang Como una Flor, and I stopped her maybe about 5 seconds into it. I go, okay, that's enough. I don't need to hear no more. We can go ahead and start working together. Nice. So that's how I met Lena. I only needed to hear a little bit. I didn't need to hear the whole song. Right. If I'm auditioning somebody, and if once they start singing and I stop them that quick, that means I like you. If I let someone keep going and they do an entire song, hell, if they do an entire album, forget it.
Yeah, you're not feeling it. You're trying to find something.
That should be an indication right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's how I started. That's how I got it going with Lena.
Cool. And the inspiration for the songs that you guys came up with, where did you, was it a combination of both you and her writing it, or more you, or?
No, I wrote Feel So Good.
Yeah. That's a jam, dude. That's a jam.
That was me. I had told her if she wanted to write something, and then for the song, and then she did try to write something, and then she's something about holding hands and this and that. I go, no, I'm not feeling that. So what I did is I got the beat, what I had put together. I put it on a cassette. Now I put it on a cassette and I played it over and over and over again on the cassette. So I looped it in my computer, and then I just put it on the cassette and pressed record and let it stretch out about 90 minutes on my cassette. Because that's just the way we rolled back in the days. And the reason I did that is because I had a long drive to go home. Right? So instead of having to press record, stop and record, I just put it on and let it play, right? And on my way home one night, I just wrote it in my car. I wrote it on a piece of cardboard. The cardboard that comes in between inside a box of records when you buy when I get records, manufactured records.
The little packing that comes with.
They put a little piece of cardboard in there.
Yeah.
Little packing cardboard, and so I wrote the song on a piece of packing cardboard. I wish I still had that. That would have been.
That'd be cool, man.
And that's how I wrote it.
That's awesome, man.
That's how I wrote the song.
So you were also, one of your aliases was Johnny Loops, right?
Yeah. That same thing. Like back when I came into LA, I'm like, no one's gonna know DJ Juanito, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna start a whole new name right here in LA. So the Johnny came from Juanito because John means Juan, vice versa. So Juanito was Johnny, and my last name, or at least last name I was going by was Lopez, which is my mom's name, my grandfather's name. Nobody knows my real name. Some people knows my real last name, not everybody.
What is it?
Um,
Oh, just kidding.
and I keep that on the under. I keep a lot of shit on the under, bro. I share some stuff and I won't share others.
I feel you.
And so I used Lopez. So I added the O. I added the O and dropped the E, and it turned into Loops.
That's cool.
Johnny Loops. That's where that came from. But see, it worked so perfectly because I was doing a loop record.
Right.
You know, Johnny Loops. So it worked. And for a while, a lot of people didn't know that I was Johnny Loops.
For a long time, I didn't know, dude. I literally, just for me, it was just a few years ago that I found out that was you.
Yeah?
Yeah, for real.
Really? What'd you say? Like, no.
Yeah, I know. It was funny because, like, I mean, obviously, I mean, I didn't put two and two together because it was like, you know, you had the Bus Screws and you had the other thing, and I was just like, it's kind of similar, but there was two different names, and I was like, you know, it's got to be different, you know. And I remember, like I said, I was just buying
two different names.
Exactly, yeah. So I was just, you know, buying these collections, and I used to just love them, man. I mean, you would just come up with the right stuff, and I was like, oh man, I could do this, I could do that. It wasn't so much that I was just spinning it, but it became more of a tool for me to mess around and do tricks with.
That's exactly what it was made for. Yeah. It was a tool.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the story how that came up. It's a very interesting story how that came about too. So I'll let you know that in a minute. Yeah. But go ahead. You were saying you bought them.
No, I'm telling you, I started messing around, and it was funny because a buddy of mine that was also spinning at the time, he just started playing it like a regular song. But you know, I would listen to it, and then I said, you know, I could do this, I could do that, and I remember getting the acapellas of I think it was Black Box, Strike It Up, because they had the acapella on the flip side, and I grabbed one of your loops and I just started messing around with it. So I kind of like started doing like my own little mashups with the loops that you had created, and vice versa, and messing around and just adding little, because you would also have like some instrumental loops that didn't have a beat, and it would just have like a killer loop. So then I would overlay that over other songs and make my own mashups on the fly, you know, doing that live. And it never occurred to me back then to record them and create my own little track. You know, back then I was just doing it live, but I should have done that because some of them were pretty cool. And that's, again, all thanks to you, to your creation.
That's what they were made for, bro. That's what they were made for. You know, it was a tool. It was a tool, and that tool, the birth of that tool was when I was spinning at the Red Onion in West Covina.
West Covina, yeah, boy.
That's when that tool came about. Would you like to know the story?
Heck yeah, dude, bring it on.
All right. So, I'm spinning Thursday nights, 18 and over at West Covina. Richard Humpty Vision was there. Caesar the Hitman Action was there. DJ Adrian was there. A few other heads, man. I'm getting old, but those are, you know, the main guys. Martin was there. He played a K-Rock. I love this K-Rock set, man. Martin. What did they go by? I can't remember what their crew was right now at this moment. It'll come to me. Watch. So the thing back then was techno, right? Everybody and their mama played techno, and you know the crowd loved it. I mean, it was a techno place, you know, and you know, first it would be and Manny Echeverria was there too. That's another story. So it was Manny, and then there was DJ Adrian and Caesar the Hitman. Everybody played techno, and I would go on before Richard Humpty, and then I followed. Well, techno it is, right? So I'd get my little set stuff, and then I'm playing my techno, and then and as I'm mixing, because the the booth was elevated, you
Right.
know, and you could kind of see down into the crowd and to everybody else. So I'd look over, and when I played one of the records, Richard Humphrey's like, "Man, what are you doing, man? Shit, I was gonna," you know, and I got that every week, bro. I'm like, "All right, Richard, all right, calm down, bro, calm down. I'm playing it. So you just play something else. That's what us DJs do. We have to work around each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that's what I do. If some guy is gonna play a record that I was going to play before me, I'm not going to play that record. I'm going to play something else.
Right.
That's how we do it. So, um, so at one point, I got tired of it. I got tired of the techno. I go, okay, man, this whole techno fest is getting on my nerves.
Mm.
So one day I came up with an idea. Have you ever played a record where you'll start playing it and it's badass, and then all of a sudden it kind of goes into left field with a whack acapella or a song
Something
or
that just
some crazy
throws it out of
noise
whack.
or something stupid?
Yep.
Okay, that's what Buster Groove was. What Buster Groove was, I would grab the dope part, loop the dope part, and keep the whack stuff out, and then add another dope part, whether it was an acapella, whether it was another beat, and on top of that, what I wanted to do was make it seem like it was in the mix, so that way I could have one on the turntable and then I could have another one on the turntable, so that way it looks like you're on 3 turntables, but you're only using 2 turntables.
Right.
That was the whole thing behind Buster Groove, is to enhance a DJ's spinning. That's what that was. Now on the first volume, I put a couple of techno tracks, but then I started experimenting with something that was going to be a new phenomenon that was barely blowing up on radio in LA. And that phenomenon was house music. Okay, now house music wasn't new. Everybody knows it came from Chicago, and and all the early house music was from Chicago.
Yep.
But it really wasn't in LA yet. It really was, you had CC Peniston on the radio. You had
the more commercial type of house,
couple of the earlier ones, commercial ones that were on radio.
Yeah.
Was everybody
Yeah,
Black Box? I
Box.
think that might have been
That
one
was
of
Black
them.
Box, yeah.
There was some that was kind of like more hip house. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like real house. The first real house I started, that I felt was real house. A commercial one was Robin S. Show Me Love.
Show Me Love.
And then the more underground after hours type of house, like I Can't Get No Sleep, Masters at Work.
Yeah.
That, now we're talking, right? So one day I decided, all right, while all these guys are going to play techno, I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to do something different here at the Red Onion. I decided to put together a house mix, right? So everybody's playing techno, and then when it came for me to spin, I broke out on everybody. I started playing house music, and that kind of blew a few people's minds, bro. And then after that, I don't know if I already had my Buster Groove at that time. I can't remember. I'd have to think about that. If I did it simultaneously when the Buster Groove came out, and then I started playing the house music. But anyway, it all just kind of like started going. For me, I decided to start going house music from there.
Mm-hmm.
That was in '92. That was in 1992. And then so I stayed at the Red Onion spinning, and I was doing my house music, and that's when it just started kind of, started from there. You know what I'm saying?
Start blowing up, man. Well, you definitely took it to new
I
heights, man.
I want to give a shout out to DJ Adrian, because Adrian was one of the first DJs that that believed in my idea, and I asked him if he wanted to join me to do the Buster Grooves, and he did join me for the first couple. And I just kept it going, man. I just wanted to keep moving, and that was my goal, just to keep banging them out, and nobody could stop me. Nobody.
Well, you,
It
you
was
came.
just
I
it was
remember you
just
came
it
out
was
with a
just
flurry of them, man.
something I just wanted to do.
It seemed like every week there was a new one, man, and I was trying to keep up with it, man. It was awesome. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
man. Those are really good days, man. Those are really good days, and making them was fun. Getting them manufactured was fun.
Hmm.
Selling them was fun. I'm not a salesman, but uh, I got a pretty funny story. I take those Buster Grooves when they first came out
Uh huh.
to Melrose. Now everybody knows Melrose is the hip crowd. You know, it's the
Yeah.
it's the it's the the place to be. You know, if you wanted to
Yeah.
be, if you were a real DJ and buy records,
Yeah.
right? So I decided to take my records on to Melrose, and the Groove Nations. No, the Groove Nations even weren't even an idea yet. It was all Buster Grooves first.
Hmm.
So I went. I remember specifically going to Beat Non-Stop, and this is when I first met Steve Loria, and and so I put my record on the counter, and Steve's like, "What's this?" I go, "This is a new record I just made." So I give him he goes, and he's like, "What's a Buster Groove?" And then I tried to explain to him what the Buster Grooves were, right?
Right.
And then and this happened all over LA, everywhere. I kept it regional. Every store I went to, I had to explain to them what the Buster Groove was. And then he rejected it. He goes, I don't know. I go, and then I immediately got into my Oakland mode. I go, this is a record store, right? And then he goes, yeah. Well, here goes some records. Sell the motherfuckers, dude. You don't even have to give me the money right now. I
Do it
say,
on consignment.
you don't even have to give me the money here. Take 5. If they sell, give me the money and I'll give you more.
That's
Well,
dope.
to make a long story short, a few months later, they call me ordering 20 here, 20 there,
There you
a,
go.
a box of this. And then every single time I had a new record, they wanted the box.
There
And
you
and
go.
I just laughed. Me and Steve are really good friends to this day. And it's a funny story,
It's
how
a trip because
it wasn't accepted at first.
yeah, it's
And
funny
then
how some people they it's difficult to accept the new stuff. For me, when I heard it, when I heard the first one, I was like, at first I was like, cool, and I heard my buddy play it because he was the first one that I heard, spin one of your records. And then I was like, oh, cool. It's just the loop. And I was like, how did he do that? And I went over there and he's all like, no, it's this record that I got. It's just like a loop. And I'm
just
like, that's
loops.
cool. And then I noticed that it wasn't just one big long loop. You had several on one side and more on the other side. So I said, I got to go pick this up. And I went, I picked it up, and I started hearing all the other tracks. And that sparked my creativity. And I think that DJs started going crazy with that, man. And you help DJs to up their game with those records, and that was, I think, that was
I'm
a
very
great contribution
proud
for DJs.
of the Buster Grooves.
I lo-
Yeah, we're getting
Little dead end
a
here,
little
little
staticky
delay.
here.
You're
Um,
back.
yeah, 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 we're back. Okay. Um, I'm very proud of the Buster Grooves, man. I'm very proud of them. Just a few years ago, just a few years ago, I was talking with a friend, and then um, he was telling me how Buster Grooves are seen in a different light right now, and especially in the LA area. That they were, and I didn't ever consider this, like, just to just to be clear, I never thought of it in any way like this whatsoever. But they tell me that the Buster Grooves are legendary records
Yeah,
out of out of the region of LA for DJs. And that is a freaking honor, man, to be able to be able to do that at that time. And like I told you, it was fun doing them, man. It was just a blast. you know, I had to fight a couple of labels here and there for why, you know, why I use their samples.
Right.
Two of them, I had to pull because Mark Finkelstein from Strictly Rhythm ripped me a new one for using Yolanda, but I had got permission from Bad Boy Bill. I spoke to Bad Boy Bill about that. Yeah, you know, whatever. Mark Finkelstein didn't like the idea, so he ripped me a new one, and then and which I have it for free download on my website called zombeat.com. ZOMBEAT.com. I have it for free download, and also the other one was the one by Moonshine. What's it? How's it go? I'm trying to sing it, but I'm trying to remember.
Trying to remember it.
I got the music in me.
Got it.
I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I did a loop with that, bro. Was sick.
Yeah.
It had a sick beat on it. I think Moonshine was a little upset because it sounded better than their record, and it was only a loop record.
That's funny.
And it was only a loop record. I have that one for free too on zombeat.com.
Cool. Well, we're coming up to the end here. What's next for you? What are you working on right now? Now, you mentioned that you are incognito working with an artist. What else can we expect from you coming up soon?
What's next? I'm extremely elated that we're gonna have a brand new president. And to show my happiness, I'm vowing to release 24 records in the next 4 years.
Órale.
24 new vinyl projects. 24 new vinyl projects in the next 4 years. That's the minimum.
Nice.
And these are going to be original tracks. I'm going to produce a lot of them, but I'm also a lot of guys that want to be that are down and that I talk to, and very, very talented people I know are going to also do some remixes and some projects, and you know, and we're going to just release, man. Groove Nation is back with a vengeance.
Excellent. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to hear it, and I know you're going to come up with some great stuff because you are definitely a talent that, you know, we've enjoyed for many years. You know, your songs and have been hits. They've moved us. They've rocked the clubs from coast to coast and around the world. So thank you for bringing that to us. And I know that anybody that's watching right now is going to be real excited to hear your new stuff, brother. So again, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to chat with me, man. I really appreciate you.
No problem. No problem, Fernando.
You got it, man. And those of you that are watching, don't forget that all his links are going to be down in the description. Of course, if you like this segment, please hit that like button. And of course, hit the subscribe and click the bell so you get notified as to when I have another amazing talent right here on DJ to DJ. DJ Juanito, God bless. Stay safe. We'll be in touch.